Hey Pete, so I'm going to go over this test with you. I'll have you watch this video and then I'll reset the test once that's done, so you just need to shoot me an email. I scrolled through the test. The first one you missed was number 5 and it wasn't answered. So I'm not sure if you didn't know how to do it or just accidentally skipped it, but in the case you didn't know how, I'm going to go ahead and go over it with you. So the formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h, where r is the radius of the circle, so you can see that's 5, and h is the height of the cylinder from its two bases. So we're going to type in the calculator pi 5 times 5, it's 5 squared, times 5 again, because that's the height. So in my calculator, I'm going to actually use the pi button, then times 5 times 5 times 5, and I get 392.699 and then several other numbers. So you can see that would round to 393. If you use 3.14 for pi, you get 392.5, which also still rounds to 393. So 393 feet cubed. So now we look at number 7. It says you're designing a new container for powdered laundry detergent. You're considering a cylindrical container with a diameter of 14 inches and a height of 18. So again, find the volume. So it's another volume of a cylinder. So that formula again is pi r squared h. And where we have to be careful here is that you're given the diameter. And the diameter is 14, but we need the radius. So we have to cut that in half. So it's pi times 7 squared times a height of 18. So in my calculator I type pi times 7 times 7 times 18, and I get 2,770.88, which rounds up to 2,771 inches cubed. So that's that first answer there, A. Number 11 says that a space figure with at least 2 faces that are rectangular can be any of these except. So then you kind of have to just imagine these figures in your head. A triangular prism, which is the one you selected, doesn't have any rectangular faces, so I'll try to draw this three-dimensionally if I can. So a triangular prism has a triangle base and another triangle base, and those bases are connected. The vertices of the triangle are connected. So that has at least 2 rectangles. That has 3 rectangular faces all around the outside edges. Even though the triangles are bases, around the outside here, the long part of this prism, those are rectangles. A rectangular pyramid, that's the one that's a little tricky. Remember, on a pyramid, that means that all of the edges from the vertices of the base are going to connect to a point at the top. So in a rectangular pyramid, it actually only has one rectangle, and it's the base. All of the sides or faces around the outside edge here around this part are all triangles. "13 says Andy is building a model of a square pyramid for a class project. The side length of the square base is 11 inches, and the slant height of the pyramid is 15 inches. What is the surface area of the model pyramid?" So I'm going to draw a square pyramid, so that's going to be, it has a square base, and this isn't going to look very, I'm going to try to make it look more 3D. I'll draw it at a little bit of an angle. So it has a square base, There we go, that's pretty good. So a square pyramid means a square base. The side length of the square base is 11, so all of these are going to be 11 all around because it's a square. And the slant height of the pyramid is 15 inches. So that means from that top vertex down to the base is 15 inches. What's the surface area? Oh, and actually it's slant height, so it's not the height of the pyramid itself, it's the length of this edge is 15. So that's going to help us with the triangle. And it wants to know the surface area. So remember, surface area, you add up the area of all the sides. This is a 5-sided figure. We're going to start with the square. So first we're going to do area of the square of the bottom. That's 11 times 11, or 121. Now we're going to do the area of the triangle, which is one of the faces here. We're going to do it once, and then at the end we're going to multiply it by 4, because there are 4 of them. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So we're going to do 1/2 times 11 times 15. And then at the very end, we're going to multiply it all by 4 because there are 4 of those faces. So it's 0.5 times 11 times 15 is 82.5. Now we multiply it by 4 and we get 330, which is the answer you selected. So what you forgot was that there's also the square base that needs to be added in. So 330 plus 121 is 451. Next we have surface area of a cone. It has a radius of 7.9 centimeters and the slant height of 3.7 centimeters. And then it wants it to the nearest unit, and it tells you specifically here to use 3.14 for pi. So the formula for surface area of a cone is pi r, and they sometimes use this letter they call L, which is essentially the same as the slant height, which they give us right here in this example. So you're going to do pi times 7.9 times 3.7. And again, they want you using 3.14 for pi here. So 3.14 times 7.9 times 3.7. So that gives you 91.78. So again, I'll draw the cone to kind of help see here. That's the area of the outside edge, or around the top, the part of the cone. Let's say it's an ice cream cone that you hold. Now we have to do the area of the circle and add that together. So if the radius is 7.9, we have the area of a circle is pi r squared. So that's pi times 7.9 squared. And we're going to add whatever we get here to the 91.78. So 3.14 times 7.9 times 7.9 is 195.96. So I'm going to add that to 91.78, and you get 287.7, which rounds to 288. Next question is surface area of a sphere. So the formula for surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared, and you're given the radius here of 3 inches, so it's 4 times pi times 3 squared. So typing that in the calculator, 4 times pi times 3 is 113.09. So that's 113 inches squared. Okay, 21 and 22 are the last two that you missed, so I'll go over these two and then again send you this video to watch. Make sure you have all these formulas written down and you're familiar with how to use them. So 21 says, Devin won a tiny bouncy ball at a school carnival. The diameter is 1.25. To the nearest hundredth of a square inch, what is the surface area of the ball? So we know that it is a sphere. Bouncy ball is a sphere. And it gives you the diameter, And we're going to have to cut that in half. So it's the same formula we just used, 4 pi r squared. But we're going to have to cut that 1.25 in half. So it's 4 times pi. And then if the radius is 1.25, if we divide that by 2, you get 0.625. And you have to square that. So 4 times pi times 0.625 times 0.625. That's 4.906, which rounds to 4.91 inches squared. Next one says a conical tent made of canvas has a base that is 20 feet across and a slant height of 14 feet. What is the area of the canvas, including the floor? So again, it's going to be a cone. And you have two formulas. You have a formula for the top, which was that pi r, and they use the letter L, which stands for the slant height. And you have the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. So for pi RL, we get pi times, it says it's 20 feet across, so that's the diameter. We're going to cut it in half and use 10 for the radius, and then the slant height is 14. Down here we have pi times, again, cut the diameter in half. We are using 10. So 3.14 times 10 times 14 is 439.6. 3.14 times 100 is 314. And when you add those together, you get 753.6, which rounds up to 754. So I'm not sure on a couple of those. It looks like you might be forgetting to cut the diameter in half. So really pay attention. Are they giving you diameter or are they giving you radius? Again, shoot me an email when you know that you're finished watching the video and you're ready to try the test again, and I will reset it.